trying to get mine going.
Okay.
So, I mean, I'm making baby steps and I'm kicking myself to get moving.
Okay.
But I need to start. I've been to one of our largest communities here, and I've been doing a lot of checking to find out what we have available. Um, a lot of very small places here, so there's not a lot for the larger communities.
Okay. And when you say smaller, does that mean like 10 and below or like 30 and 40?
Um, 10 and below, and uh, 20 to 40 is probably a bigger group. And then as far as the really large ones, there's I think only two or three.
Okay. So like one, the 20 to 40s will probably be need your help even more because once they get to like the big things, they have a lot of marketing dollars, they have a lot of ways to get reach. But the 20 to 40 and especially the 10, they don't have the bandwidth or the manpower, woman power um, to really get out there in front of seniors and their families. So if you tell them and show them that you can help them do so, I think you're going to have a lot of good reactions from them. Um, so yeah, and I think it also if we just look at it like right when I know when I got my real estate license, the first thing I was told to do is go learn the inventory. So I was going around to neighborhoods and drawing the maps and checking out, any listings that were available and just trying to get my bearings of what was offered. I think the same thing in the senior living communities of like just going, one a day, two a day, and learning what they are, where they're at, I think is so important. And I think documenting them and video, doing like a video documentary or a vlog of like, hey, I went to go visit this one today. And, or, if they allow you to film it when you're there, hey, I'm at this community or at this home or this, I think that will go a long way to branding yourself. As well as, a lot of people just don't know what's out there. They all think that the senior living homes of today were the convalescent homes of, 2 decades ago. What about you, Tina? How's your business going? Where are you at? Oh, you're on mute. Can't talk. Copy. All right. Um, and I think that's really what, like, for me for 2026 is really like establishing, like, what do I like to do? What am I good at? And how can I use that to get in front of seniors and their families and brand myself as the senior expert? Um, And I think, realistically in the senior space, there's probably six or seven, maybe even more pillars that you can focus on. Like I know Sean, she's out in Arizona. She pretty much just focuses on 55 plus communities, like the retirement communities, where you go and buy into them and their master communities. And she does YouTube videos, long form, and that's how she gets a lot of her business, and she does 50 plus transactions a year. There's other people that all they do is focus on the probate, like a Renee Quigley. She Not all she does, but probably a third to 40% of her business comes from really going after probates and meeting with attorneys and learning, going to the courthouses and seeing which cases are coming up. So I think there's so many different ways. I think it's just important to like, which way do you love to do? What do you like to do? What are you good at? And then set up one to three different pillars within the space and just say, I'm gonna make sure my day or my prospecting hours, they, exist within this space. Um, I really believe, and I think statistically it proves right, is 72%, according to National Association of Realtors, 72% of agents' business comes from their friends, families, past clients, or referrals from the clients' friends, families, or professionals. So I find it odd and almost humorous why agents go elsewhere other than, they have their phone full of 300, 400, 1,000 contacts, 2,000 contacts. They'll go everywhere else but here and go, oh, I'm struggling to get business. Well, yeah, because 28% of you're going after the 28%, and the Wolf at Wall Street kind of closers are going after them. The people that have, 20 years of experience are going after them, but you don't want to go after the people that know, like, and trust you. Just find it odd. So I always believe your number one pillar, I call it my core 100, should be 100 people within your phone that you build a relationship up with. You bring them value, you educate them, you treat them like an e-harmony date that you're trying to marry for life rather than a Tinder date that you're just trying to close for the night. And I think if you have that mentality, those 100 relationships, they just introduce you to one person every 5 years. You'll do 20 to 30 opportunities just with those 100 people. And if you need more business, develop more relationships. Um, you know, so that is, one thing to look at. And when I look at that, when I look at my core, most people have a mom and a dad. And if they're married, they got two moms and two dads. And if they're young enough, they got four grandmas and four grandpas. And so by focusing on these 200 people, I really have 800 people that I can help. And if they're divorced, I mean, that then it just even goes up even more, as long as they get along with people. But so I think that's usually, the pillar I would suggest with, and it's one of the easiest to go into. You don't call your friends and family and they reject you. They welcome your phone calls. And by telling them, hey, because the realtor goes, oh, if you ever know anyone looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate, or who do you know looking to buy, sell, and invest in real estate? It's like, well, I don't know anyone. And if that's the reason why you called, then but if you say, hey, I really want you to know, I specialize with helping seniors and their families planning for the future and beyond. And I'm here just in case you ever hear of anyone, please keep me in mind. It's a total different conversation. If you start asking, hey, when you're visiting your family this holidays, here's 5 different conversations to have with them so that way you can help them live the highest quality of life for as long as possible. Because I think most people like their moms and dads, but sometimes we get frustrated with them. They're not listening to me. Oh, every single time I talk about their house isn't good for them, they shut down. Well, yeah, because you're having the wrong conversation. It's like telling a 2-year-old not to touch the flame. They don't know what the flame is until they touch it. And unfortunately, in a senior's standpoint, they don't know what the crisis is till they're in it. So if you explain to them, hey, mom, dad, I want you to be in control about where you live. So can we play what if? What if the crisis happens? You fall down, you hurt yourself, you go into or you go into the hospital and they say you are not allowed to live at home. Mom, dad, where do you want me to take you? Where can I advocate to have you be? Or what do you want me to, can I advocate to have an in-home care person? What do you want me to do? What if you're not able to talk at that point in time? Mom, dad, what if you get Alzheimer's? Where do you want to go? What if you get dementia? Where do you want us to do? Like, these are all questions that I need to know because I don't want the burden of making those decisions for you. God forbid I did something that you didn't want me to do. That's a different conversation than mom, dad, you need to move. Your house is too big for you. Mom, dad, I'm tired of coming and taking the trash cans in for you or picking you up off the ground. I don't want to be here and pick you up off the ground and you be dead one time. I don't want to have that conversation. Nobody wants to have that conversation. I'm gonna check the chat real quick. Um, Love to hear what everyone is doing for a game plan for 2026, working with seniors. So yeah, I think that's really like so. I believe you should have 3 to 5 pillars when you're working out your business plan. And within that business plan, again, I believe one should be your core 100 or your core 300 or how many people you want to build a relationship with. And then in the senior space, you can go senior communities and make relationships with senior communities. That's to me, it's the easiest one to get into. Not every community will give you referrals, but the right ones will. And over time, because if we're here for longevity, we're not just here for 2026, but in 10 years from now, if I constantly am going to these communities, I'm volunteering once a month, I'm trying to do lunch and learns, I'm helping them with their marketing, I'm bringing in people that might want to move in. I'm networking and collaborating with other professionals to build a relationship with them. It would be pretty hard pressed to think that they're not going to give me one referral out of the 40 opportunities they have a year. If I have 15 communities, that's 15 extra deals. If they have more than one house, that's 30 extra deals. If they refer me more than one person a year, that's it, and it just exponentially goes up. So I think that's a great one. Senior networking groups. Usually, most places have senior networking groups. They're people that are heart filled. They're centric, or they're service based, and they're not like that cutthroat. Like you see placement agents like getting along with each other. You see other agents getting along with each other. For the most part, it's not cutthroat and like get out of my networking group like a BMI or BNI I forget the other one's called. Something about it's the French word for hips. Forget what it is, but it's not like those. And I believe that if you're going to help seniors and their families on a higher level, you need to have a placement agent. You need to have decluttering and organizing. You need to have an estate sales manager. You need to have a moving company that really specializes with seniors, Medicaid and Medicaid and veterans benefits. You need to have this family of companies, and where else is the easiest spot to find them than at senior networking groups? But you have to be intentional when you go there. There's an intention I have to build a relationship up with Medicaid advisors. So when I go there, that's who I'm looking for on that roundabout. And I'm trying to set a meeting one-on-one with them so I can learn more about what they do. And I always ask people, can I get three people that you've worked with in the past so that I can, basically kind of interview them about you so I can feel confident about when I bring people to you, I know you're going to treat them well. And what I hope they ask to do the same thing because I want them to go talk to my past clients because nothing gives more confidence in your confidence than talking to someone that's worked with you. So that could be a good one. Senior Expos is another good one. It's a good pipeline fielder, good for brand and awareness, set an authority with inside the community, and they're pretty easy. I mean, you set up a booth, you pay a couple $100 to $600, and you get to meet 20, 30, 40, 80, 100 different seniors and their families. Yeah, you might be able to get the now business, but again, I don't look for now business. I always look for longevity. I have a 1-year-old baby. How am I going to be here in 5 years, 10 years from now? I know, particular in the real estate space, I believe that you really got to um, focus on seniors because over the next 10 years, AI is going to come in, big teams are going to come in, and companies like Zillow are going to figure out how to take over the client thing. Even Mr. Cooper, the biggest mortgage servicing company, if you have them, call them. Call them right now if you were serviced by Mr. Cooper. One of the first questions they ask you before you're even get information about your loan, are you thinking about moving in the next 6 months? We want to see how we can help you. Everyone's coming in to get the experience of the lifetime of the client. How can they get escrow and title and home warranty and termite and this and that? And they want to own the client. And here we are, we have the clients and we tender date them and never talk to them again. Imagine if we just would have called people and said, hey, are you thinking about moving? Hey, do you want to know what your home value is worth? Do you know there's a lot of misinformation out there and there's going to be a lot of people coming after your business? So that would be another one for senior expos. Lunch and learns are great. I mean, you can go after probate if that's your thing. Um, you can go after trust. I mean, I'm in 36 different people's trust that when they pass away, I am the guy that's going to sell all their real estate. So knowing that we're in the real estate space, if we focus on seniors and their families, this is, I had a squirrel moment, but if we focus on seniors and their families, this is one segment of the real estate industry that doesn't want AI. They don't like DocuSign. They don't usually have emails or don't want to use them or know how to use them effectively or efficiently. So it's the one that people, it's not sexy to do, takes a lot more time and effort, and they're not going after them. But who has the biggest wealth in America and holds the biggest wealth in America? Seniors and their families. Who has the most real estate? Seniors and their families. Who needs the most help? Seniors and their families. So if you really position yourself over the next 10, 20 years, you're going to gain market share just because that's who's moving, that's who has the real estate, and everybody else is going to sexy, quick wham bam Tinder dates that are in the real estate industry, except for you. You're saying, how can I build this up? How can I build a relationship with someone? Um, what kind of conversations should I recommend people have over the Thanksgiving table? So I did a series on this on my Instagram. So if you're not following me, follow me, Cory B, your RE planner. Um, but it's basically five different conversations. And number one is it's called the balance test. You stand up, when you're at the dinner table, say, hey, Kate, let's do the balance test, everybody. Who can stand on one foot for 10 seconds? Now, I always suggest people that are over the age of 65 have a chair next to them. So if they can't balance, they're not falling down. I'm not trying to break anyone's hip. But if they can't balance on one foot for 10 seconds, they should not have a ladder, step stool. Things should be moved from up high, step down, step ups, retrofitting the home. Those are all conversations that one conversation can lead to. And you can go with facts that one of the top three leading causes of deaths over people over age 65 is falls. And a lot of times it's not the actual initial fall that kills you, it's all the aftermath that comes after it. So it's a falling, breaking your hip, breaking your knee, even just banging up your head can actually hurt the quality of life and longevity of your life. So mom, dad, I want to, I want to help you. So if we can't do this, let me come over one weekend with the kids and take it down all the stuff from up high. Let's call a certified aging place specialist to retrofit the step downs and step ups. Get rid of the step over tub or the step over shower. We need to make it better. I know my grandma, that's how my great grandma died. She literally moved to Arizona away from her family because she got sick of them checking up on her. And she died getting out of the bathtub and nobody was there to check up on her. And it caused so much friction in our family. So knowing that, telling those type of stories. Number two, mom, dad, do you still go to your church? Do you still go to you were doing those breakfasts with your group or those lunch meetings with your group? Do you still do those things? Lack of socialization leads to depression. Depression can lead to dementia or Alzheimer's. Also, it's a sign of dementia and Alzheimer's because people stop going to those because they can't keep up with the conversations or they get made fun of because they couldn't remember having the conversation that they had last week. And we all do it. We do it as kids, we do it as adults, we do it as seniors. We make fun of people not knowing maybe how much damage it's actually doing. So ask them, push them to do those things. Number three, check the fridge. Mom, dad, can I get a glass of water? Can I get a Coke? And make a reason to go into the fridge, go into the pantries, check for spoiled food, expired food, moldy food. Like that is another leading cause of deaths is food poisoning, eating food that's not right or lack of nutrition, not eating the right food or food at all. It again could be a sign of dementia and Alzheimer's or could lead to dementia and Alzheimer's. So that would be another one. Number four would be asking when was the last time they've reviewed their trust? Knowing 66% of people don't have a trust. So when you ask it in that way, when was the last time you viewed your trust? They go, oh, I haven't reviewed it in 15 years. Well, it still might not be valid. Depends on what it was. Or what if it has things in there giving things to people that don't exist anymore? Now it can cause you, even though you have a trust and estate plan, it can end up going to probate court or going to litigation because the house that you're going to give to your daughter, she has since passed away. her kids now would should get it, but now there's other living heirs in front of her. Now everyone has a claim to it, and that's usually where family disputes fall. Also, when I'm talking about trust, I tell people a full estate plan doesn't only protect you in passing. It's not only for the rich. I actually believe the less you have, the more you should have an estate plan because the more money that they take from you, every dollar counts. When you got 10 million, if they take three, it's not that big of a deal. If you got a million and they take 300,000, that is a big deal. If you got 300,000 and they take $100,000, that's even a bigger deal. So I think it's even more important. And also they need to understand that it also protects them while they're alive. Going into conservatorship. If you have an estate plan, it protects you from conservatorship, or a good one should. It'll give you a power of attorney. It'll give you a good financial directive, a medical directive, a HIPAA release, all the things that you need. If your mom falls down and goes to the hospital, you don't have the right to go tell the doctor what to do for her. You actually have to file conservatorship to get control of those decisions. And that's the problem. What if it takes time and money to go through conservatorship? And then number five is, and we kind of touched on it, mom, dad, God forbid a crisis was to happen. Where is it that you want to go? I'm doing a podcast with my dad, and I asked him that, and he's like, "Oh yeah, no, I'm going to live with my son," and blah blah. I'm like, "Oh, well, have you asked him that?" And we kind of made light of it, and we passed through it. But I'm actually going to redo the podcast and be like, "No, I want to have the real conversation in real time, so people can see how hard it is to have that discussion." Now, my dad's 73, and he's a young 73, but I need to know, like, yeah, God forbid something was to happen. What do you want me to do? Like, how are we going to take care of it? I mean, I hope his wife has his best interest at hand, but what if she doesn't? Or what if she's doing something where, like, my dad would never want that? But what if that is what he wanted? Now it's going to start a family dispute over something that was needless to be. So that would be, another thing. Um, I'm having difficulty finding those partners. Sounds like I need to dig deeper. Yeah, I think I'm going to say not every, but most cities, communities have like an aging council on aging. They'll have a national in place council, a national aging in place council. They'll have ombudsman. They should have some kind of senior networking group, a round table. Most of them do. The place that you can find a lot of the times is at senior living communities. And you can ask them when you're there, hey, do you guys ever host senior networking groups here? Or do you know of any great senior networking groups? Or who do you recommend, I work with for a mover manager, a placement agent, for an estate sales manager, and ask those type of things. And you can just say, I work with a great one, but she's totally booked up, or he's totally booked up. Do you have another one? I'm always looking for another one to add into the equation. And now they're willing to share because most of the professionals revolves around the senior living community, even hospice, in-home healthcare, in-home care. They all go to these communities because that's where they're at, or they'll refer to the communities because that's where they'll end up at. So those would be, some good ones. And you want to have them. I mean, there's 20 different professionals that everyone that works with senior, space and brands themselves in the senior space, they should have. We should have a placement agent because if you're not a placement agent, if you don't have one, you're going to be one. And I don't think that agent should be a placement agent. Um, Number two, you should have an estate sale manager because, again, if you think selling the home is the big obstacle, trust me, it's not. It's selling the microphone that they were given from their husband who passed away 20 years ago. It doesn't work, and convincing her that she needs to get rid of it. Or her thinking it's worth $500 when you can't even sell it for $5. Do you want to lose a real estate deal over arguing over whether it has value or not? I don't. So I bring in estate sales. Now, if they want to do a glorified garage sale, I will help them out for that. But if it's more than that, or if they really want to do an estate sale, or I'm not really sure if there's any value into things, I won't do that. Um, then you want to have a mover manager, someone that can actually, they don't actually do the moving, but they help with, the packing, the organizing, e-declutter and organizers. They're kind of like that pointer. They're the Caltrans guy that's pointing to see where it's at. I don't know if you guys have Caltrans, but the people on the road where there's always that one guy pointing fingers, telling everyone else what to do. You're like, I want his job. Um, you should have a repair and handyman that again that specializes working with seniors, because if they go there with an attitude, if they go there with, or if they're willing to take advantage of them. I mean, we had a guy, a client that someone came and convinced her that she needed to redo or resurface her driveway, charged her $15,000 to do so, and he literally just painted over the concrete and put some shining chips into it and didn't even do a good job. So like finding and protecting those people. And those are also things that when I'm having conversations like, hey, there's a lot of scams going on. You need to warn your mom and dad, like, don't answer the door and sign up with them. There isn't the PACE program is not a good program. There's not someone that works for the government putting in like solar panels and energy efficient windows. That person does not work for the government. That person is using a government program to take advantage of you. Um, don't just hire someone to fix something, mom. Please get us involved. Let us talk to the guy or a woman. Um, you want to have, veteran benefits or Medicaid or Medi-Cal benefits. You want to have a healthcare insurance person. You want to have a private fiduciary and a public fiduciary. Those are people that are going to, if they get put in conservatorship or if they have a trust that someone passed away, that person usually helps facilitate the administration of the trust or the administration of the conservatorship. Ombudsmen are a good person, so like a volunteer to help them with some things. In-home health care, in-home care. Those are also good ones. Assisted living community directors and marketing directors. Um, I mean, probably close to 20, but probate attorneys, estate attorneys, financial planners, tax planners, CPAs. I mean, those are all great people that you want to have. Again, because when a client calls you, say, I want to sell my home, these are all the people that you're going to need as your support staff. Because if you don't have someone to do final cleanouts, guess who's going to be stuck doing it? You are. And I like to do clean outs, so I have a clean out company that I have that I do, but I like to do it. But I don't like to fix things or to repair things, so I have people come in there and do that part of it. So
Cory,
I've kind of yeah, go ahead.
will you repeat what you said about the fiduciary?
So a private fiduciary and a public fiduciary. A public fiduciary is appointed from the court. So let's say you go to conservatorship, you don't have a next living heir or someone that wants to take on the responsibility. The court will appoint a public fiduciary to help you, pay for things. They will be the ones to assess how you're going to pay for it, where you're going to go. They're basically kind of like your authority over you while you're in conservatorship. A private fiduciary is someone that's hired, like I think Britney Spears went through a conservatorship. She had a private fiduciary that came in and assessed what was going to happen. They didn't let the court do that. And also a private fiduciary could be like an administrator. Let's say I have a trust or let's say my dad has a trust and he named me as the successor trustee and as the administrator. I wouldn't wish that upon anyone. I would never do it. So I would relinquish my rights to a private fiduciary and say, okay, I'm what I was supposed to get paid. I'm going to have the private fiduciary get paid. They're going to be responsible for adhering to the instructions of the trust. And all these people are Googleable. You can literally Google almost everything now and say private fiduciary near me, public fiduciary near me. Call them up and just say because they don't get lots of phone calls. I specialize in working with seniors and their families. I'm looking for a good public fiduciary. Can I get us some time to come meet you, maybe take you out to coffee and just learn more about your business so I can learn when I can appoint a client to you, or I can learn how I can bring you value or be of assistance to you. Because that's ultimately these public fiduciaries, administrators, probate attorneys, they want it to go through smoothly and they need help doing so. So if they have someone that understands it, they will like that, they will enjoy that. Um, so yeah, that is where we would be at. Any other questions? I do have to cut a little short today just because I have a 9:30 that I have to get ready for. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of the podcast Dropping Bombs, but I'm going to be on the podcast. It's like pretty big deal. So I'm doing my first intake interview today. So I'm pretty excited. Um, but if nothing else, let me know, and I will make sure that an email goes out to all the members, and maybe next week you guys can tell me if you got that email or not, to make sure that everybody knows Mondays and Wednesdays at 7 a.m. or 10 a.m. your guys' time, Fridays at 8:30 my time, so 11:30 your time, and then I believe all Thursdays are 9 o'clock a.m. or 12 o'clock your time. So I appreciate you guys, and let us know how we can help. Anything that you guys need, help with, or structural wise, or blueprint wise, let us know. That's what we're really gearing towards, is to really make this so that we can have those blueprints, those step by steps of taking people where they're at and how to get further along. All righty. Thank you guys. Have a good one.
Thanks. Thanks, Cory. Good
Thank
luck.
you. Thank
Bye.
you.